tell me, what was your favorite gimmick?
I gotta say, I think it was the Misfits, man. I think the
Oh,
MI.
I knew you were going to say that.
Now, I hate the moniker of General Rection. Absolutely hated it, but it was the most fun I had because there were. And at that time, Ernest, you remember at that time we had a different boss every 6 months, and everything was going. So if you could sink into what you were doing, and that's when we got our most TV time, and
It
we're
did,
going
yes.
strong. So that was fun to me. And I had some good. Listen, I was surrounded by great cats, Chavo Guerrero and Lash, and then we had Jerry the Wall, and we had that crazy Major Guns and all that nonsense, but. That was the most fun I had in WCW.
Lance Storm was in there then at that time, right?
There's another guy. I don't think he'll ever get the accolades for being a professional.
Oh my goodness, man!
He never. We danced for a year straight, and then whenever they needed something to come back to, they'd put us together, and we go work a little week program or something. And Lance Storm never touched me one time except in a house show. He hit me with a sidekick and damn near took the head off my shoulders. And he went. We literally stopped the match. He went. I laid there on my face going, "What I do?"
Well, Big Q is the opposite with me. We had a gimmick going to where Lance was supposed to come out and hit me with a chair. I've never taken a chair before. So I told Lance, I said, Lance, can you hit me in the back of the head with the chair? He said, yes. So it was a timing thing. You know, he had to be on the spot because I had to be on the spot. He had to be on the spot. So when I turned around, he got to be right there and just pop me upside. Man, soon I turned around, he hit me in the back, top of the head with the chair, and it chipped all my front teeth.
Oh.
It chipped my front teeth because I had my mouth open.
Oh, God.
Bro, I went back there and he said, I'm sorry. Guess what they put later on that night? I was going to hit the ring and hit him back with a chair. They were setting us up for Canada. So the spot was, you got to hit him because he can't lay in the ring. He got to come. He got to get out.
He got to get you, yeah.
So he got to come out the other side. Now you got to slide in and hit him with that chair and make him lay out. He can't sit there and lay down and wait for you. So I said, okay. He must knew I was gonna pay his ass back.
You was coming with a Harriers receipt.
When it was time to go, I sprinted with that chair in my hand. And guess what he started to do to get out the ring because I couldn't hit him outside the ring. I reached over the damn rope as he was trying to get through the rope, hit his head with the boom. His ass said, "That's payback right there." Man, that was so fun. He was so fun to work with, and but
it was fun. Yes.
Yeah, fun, man. Everybody, the gimmick, the storyline that was going on there. Yeah. Was Vince Russo in there doing that? Was he behind that?
To most, this looks done, broken, hopeless, a teardown. But wiping the slate clean, that costs more than money. It costs time, resources, and waste. Resight sees more. Beneath the wear, potential. Beneath the cracks, opportunity. We reinforce, we regrade, we reimagine. Because smart fixes save time, money, and the planet. What's old isn't broken, it just needs the right hands. Resight. Practical solutions, lasting value.
Tom Dan or who?
He was behind the Misfits part of it. And then, we'd already gotten the Canada USA thing going before Vince came in.
Yes.
Vince said, run with it. Just keep. And that was I always say about Vince Russo is when we got noticed because Ernest and I were so far, and I say this respectfully, Ernest was here and I'm here, but we were still miles below everybody else. So when they gave us opportunity to go, well, you didn't even ask questions. You said, we're going. Yeah, whatever you need.
And Vince Russo did just that, really. For me, he was responsible for me being a commissioner. He would write just for me. He said, here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna write for you. He did everything the right way, telling me, man. A lot of people didn't like him because of some things he did, but I enjoyed work then, man. That was a fun time.
I never had a headache with Vince at all.
You mind if I ask something?
Please.
So you work with Russo, you work with Bischoff, you work with Sullivan.
Yeah.
In your mind, during that era, who really had the best mind for the business?
Oh, Kevin Sullivan's mind was unbelievable. Now, but your question, when you say the business, do you mean the TV business or the wrestling business?
Both.
Well, I'm going to give the wrestling business to Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I have to tip the cap to Bischoff for the TV. Now, Sullivan knew wrestling for TV. He could set the wrestling for TV.
Right.
And Kevin, because he'd been around for so long as a booker everywhere else in every territory. But I think the TV part of it, I think you have to give that to Eric.
Yeah.
Just because of what he did.
Yeah.
And who was your worst booker?
Good follow up there, Big Ray.
Worst? I don't.
Who did you dread working for?
No, there's not one person I can say I wish I never worked for that guy. I learned everywhere I went. I always say, and here it goes back to that thing with DDP didn't like me saying, but I learned from everybody. I was always in the right place. And for whatever reason, like I firmly believe if you're 6'2", 350 pounds, people gravitate to that and go, hey, what else can we get Chubby to do? Or, hey, if no one else will take this bump or do this, go get Huey. But I wasn't treated that way. I was always treated with, hey, we got this stuff going on. And I was fortunate enough to always be in some kind of mix and working all the time.
Right. You were the best, damn near one of the best looking body guys in the locker room. Nobody out there looked like you. And this is for something else too. You had the mindset. You were ready all the time. Even when you had, cause I think we had a couple of conversations. You might have been talking a word about something else outside of wrestling or outside of the company, but you always tighten that up when you got in the ring and did your thing. And matter of fact, in WWE, you was the one, because I really did not want to come to WWE.
I remember.
Because I had just got a 4-year deal, so I had 4 years to sit down and just get paid.
Yeah.
But John Ace called me and said, come in. 2 people told me this. Jim, Stevie Ray. Ray said, Cat, do you think you're going to go up there and they're going to put you over those guys that been with them? Then I said, I don't know, but I just want to be named one of the guys that worked in the 2 largest company in the world. Yeah. Right. So I went in there, and by that time, I think you were working there, or you was a booker, a coach, or something. And I remember it was the Royal Rumble. I went out there in the ring, and the crowd popped for me.
Hell
Huge pop. Huge pop. Even Vince McMahon was laughing and had a good time. So the next time, I think Bill told me, he said, good spot. Then Monday night, it came, and I was walking around in the back, and I was getting ready to go on because I was not on the card. I don't know if you remember this, Hugh, but you looked at me, you said, Cap, listen, they don't know what they're doing. You got one of the biggest pop on the show. Why do they not have you on the show today if they wanted to get you over? Then I said, I don't know. He said, listen, if they wanted to get you over, they got a damn sock over, a sock. If they get a sock over, they could get you. Now, that didn't disturb me or didn't take me away from doing my job, but it gave me guidance. It gave me somewhere to understand now this is what I'm dealing with. And I want to thank you for that, because I did that up until my last day. I didn't kiss nobody's ass.
Yep.
I didn't kiss nobody. I didn't degrade myself and put myself down to get a job, to get over, to work. I said, whatever they want to do with me, I'm gonna just be prepared to do it.
Yeah, and you did it. You showed up for work. You didn't show up for the other nonsense. And that's
Exactly.
what to me, that's what weeded us out of a lot of the guys and girls who would then come up and have opportunities. But WCW was a different mindset than WWE.
Oh yes,
And,
yes.
and for people that came into the business in WCW only, that's all they knew. So, sometimes the inmates ran the asylum in WCW. So you get to WWE, and there's a little bit more of a culture shock there. But Cat was one of those guys, and there was a handful of guys that came in there with no drama, no hidden agenda. Tell me what you want. I'm going to give you my best. Then they took him out of the ring because he's such an amazing talker. He becomes the commentator. So that's something we would not have gotten an opportunity for in WCW.
No. And I knew nothing about it. And I knew right then I'm out of my area now, because I did not even know what a headlock looked like. How in the hell I'm gonna say what they doing to the ring? Take the back. I did not know. I came in as a karate guy. They put me in school for a little while. Then they put me right on TV, and I had to make things work. But I was just thankful for the opportunity that I had in WWE, because I got to do that, man. And I had a great time doing, and I got to work with some great people, man. The first day there, I'm standing up in the hallway where with the show getting ready to start. Vince McMahon walked right down the hallway, and he had his little bodyguard with him. He had security with him. And I would never remember, that joker was sharp. He was dressed like a pimp, though. He had like a peach shirt, a peach suit, and you could almost see through the pants, but it was sharp. He walked across over there to me in front. I was standing with Chris Canyon. He walked across. He was like, "Hey, Cat, how you doing? Nice to meet you." I said, "I'm doing, sir." He said, "You enjoying yourself?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, it's good to have you. You one of the boys now." He walked away, and I turned and looked at Chris Canyon, bless his soul. And Chris looked down at me. He was like, "See, that's a shame. He haven't spoken to me, and I've been here for almost 2 years. He never spoke." Man, I said, "It ain't my fault, Chris, but you got to meet some guys there." I mean, they all did. Stone Cold, when Stone Cold saw me, he approached, "Hey, Cat, how you doing? Nice to meet you." The Rock, "Hey, Cat, listen, man, I'm a big fan." So they watched what we were doing on WCW.
They knew who we were coming in, and that's probably the thing that continued to sell me on the company was they didn't just, depending on who you talk to or how you want the conversation to go, they bought the company and just took over wrestling. He knew everybody in that company.
Exactly. You got to know that as a business person, you got to know the assets that you're acquiring and what's going to work for you. But to that point, to both of you, I got to ask this because I've heard different wrestlers. I sit around. Do you feel in any way, shape, or form that WCW guys were set up to fail in WWE once WWE acquired WCW?
I think WCW guys were set up to fail because of the environment we came from. It was the, I don't know how you put it in a category. It was the East and it was the West. It was the North and it was the South. It's the AFC and the NFC. They played the game, and their playbook had professional rules and regulations to play the game. Right. We had amazing talent, amazing people, but no structure. So the smallest thing from the hand, everybody knocks the handshake thing and saying hello and goodbye. Well, if I spend 300 days with you, why do I got to say hello and goodbye every day? Because that's the playbook. That's how we survive the culture. And so there was no protocols in WCW. Hell, the referees didn't even have the same protocols. Everybody was relearning the game that they'd been in for X amount of years in WCW. So we were set up to fail internally. I'll go out and say it publicly. I don't think WWE set us up to fail, but they certainly weeded out who they wanted to deal with. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
And I made it my first 3 years. I made it through till they said, "Okay, we're not going to renegotiate your contract." Said, "But go out and travel the world and do everything because you just not leaving. I do nothing about that. You know, I played football growing up, all American. I did karate. When somebody tell you we can't use you, to me that means you cut.
Right.
You ain't good enough. You're
Right.
not good. So when they told me to go out, I didn't have Hugh there. I did not have Eric there. Said, listen here, Cat, this is what you should do. Now that you got the TV time in, people gonna want you all over the world. So now just go and regroup. If you want to come back, they'll have you back. Me, I left there and went straight back into karate, started teaching kids, got my body back in shape, because my knees were beat up. And I felt like the business was, I was done with the business. I felt like I was done with the business.
Do
No,
you regret that?
A lot of guys did that though.
I do regret that. I do regret the way I handled it, because I handled it like what my son, who's a psychiatrist, he said this all the time about this new generation, and that's gonna help us go with where I won't go with you next, Hugh. He's called them quiet quitters.